Hello from trinature.com. This is Mark Josie and of course Ji Sifu from Teenage Dragons channel. And this is again this special season that we're doing all these talk shows on this channel. And in the future, we'll be moving all the fun stuff, all these talk shows to our other channel on Teenage Dragons channel. So please go and subscribe to the Teenage Dragons channel and stay tuned for our future talk show. Now let's get into the topic of this talk show about the purpose of life or the meaning of life. This talk show, I'm trying to use another mic right here. So let's see if that mic actually work out to be better than the mic on my camera right now. Now, not a lot of people will, not a lot of Taoist master will be dressed up very seriously looking, but they will act very inseriously. So today I'm going to break the rule and just trying to go kind of informal and joke around while I talk about this topic. Let's see if I can make it a little bit more interesting, okay? Now, definitely it's hot, okay, dressing like that, but anyways, just want to be a little bit different from my other talk show. Why do I want to dress kind of different? Well, first of all, it's a video, right? So on YouTube, you have so many videos to watch, but why do you want to watch that one and then not the other one? Well, maybe it's attractive. Maybe they have a nice screen cap. Like one of my video I really like, I put a screen cap there saying, "What is shit?" And that is a pretty cool screen cap. I like that screen cap a lot, and I think it should draw a little bit more attention, a little bit more view. But, why do I want to dress like that? Maybe I want to attract something, someone or some people over. I don't know, but I feel like I want to dress like that today. So I dressed like that and see what happened. Now, after dressing myself up like that, I can tell you that it's extremely hot and not easy to move around, okay? Usually this set of clothing is worn only for some cultivations and stuff when we're doing stuff ourselves. But usually when we do talk show and stuff, we avoid all the heat and the clumsiness. Now, this thing is really heavy, tell you what, okay? But anyway, let's get back to the topic. Now, this is not irrelevant, though. I am actually relating this coincidence or this whatever happening to the subject that I'm going to talk about today, which is the purpose of life. Now, a lot of believers or new disciples or whatever people email me and ask me about what should the purpose of life be. Why are they not going to go suicide and die? I mean, life is so suffering, and you see a lot of problems happen. Lots of hiccups. Maybe they're having all their downtimes, whatever. Why don't they just die and end everything? It's like playing a game. And then boom, blackout, and the game is over, right? So, okay, so I have to make this video and tell you guys what is the purpose of life in terms of our perspective in our lineage of Taoism, okay? Now, every lineage or every sect in Taoism, they are not the same, okay? So I'm just going to tell you what we, in this lineage, talk about. But I'm not going to, speak for other lineages, okay? So whatever they believe have nothing to do with us, okay? And also, for you guys who are watching this video, you also have the choice or power to make your decision, a choice about, oh, I like, this theory, this guy here, I like him, and I like his lineage theory, so I'm going to learn from him, fine. If you don't like it, it's fine too, okay? So it's just like, this is the presentation, so you get to look at or listen to what we believe, and you can choose, okay? You don't have to choose, actually. Just listen and enjoy the show, okay? And remember to click like. Click like and subscribe, share, okay? That's more important, okay? Now, I I really don't care if you believe or like my idea or this theory or not, because all I want from you guys is your like, subscribe, share, and such, right? So it doesn't matter. Anyway, okay, so that actually does relate to the topic. Wow, how? Okay, so the purpose of life. We are all born because of some reason. Now, this is a big question. Why are we born? Why are we born in this world, not the other one? Well, you can't understand or know right now because there's no, like the original place that you're from is not here anymore. But, you know, it's all bullshit to discuss about where you're from, okay, before you're born. But, you know, this is kind of broad, right? But we don't need to look at that. We just need to look at something that we can see right now to learn the pattern. The pattern. Okay? You see patterns in this world, just like how scientists do. You see pattern. After you observe the pattern, you learn from observing these patterns in nature. And eventually you understand and you know what not to do and what to do. Now, everyone is born differently. Okay? If you, like, if people say everyone is born equal, that is not true. And, like, look, some people are born taller, some are shorter, some are weaker. You know, some are born in poor country, some are born in nice families and rich families. They're not equal, right? Everyone is not equal. Even in nature's perspective, everyone is not equal. And because we are not equal, and that is why we have our own value that other people cannot replace. Now look, if, let's say, you have this strength in you, like you are good at making jokes and stuff. Now, your style of joke and the other guy's style of joke is not the same. Your personality and this guy's personality is not the same. When you speak, the kind of vibe that you or the other one gave out is not the same. So you cannot be replaced. Even you're both a comedian or something like that, you cannot replace each other. Now, let's look at the market, okay? The market right now is so full of like different companies, business and stuff like that. We have, you know, this is a big debate. Like the Microsoft fans, and there's Apple and whatever, Linux, all that kind of different companies doing computer and softwares and stuff like that, right? Now, these things are all different. They survived for a long time in the market. And now we, the consumer, can choose which one to go with. I personally use Windows, okay? But some other people will say, oh, I like Mac better. Some people will say, I like Windows better. It doesn't matter. They are different, and they fit different people's tastes, right? You cannot really say everyone will just use Windows and that's it. Oh, that's going to be so boring. It's like every day I need to only eat rice. That is going to be super boring, right? Now, if I say, okay, today I'm going to eat rice, tomorrow I'm going to eat noodles, maybe pizza or something like that. Choices. We have so many choices in this world. Everything is there for some demand, right? There's demand, and then there goes something that comes out, okay? Now, nature has a demand, and that is why you are pooped out right here, okay? You can say that, oh, my life sucks. I'm full of misfortune. I am not rich. I'm like, I don't have any strength in me. You know, I'm just a scumbag, whatever. Well, even a person who is born with, let's say, the worst personality inside, maybe he's born to be a thief, okay? A thief, right? Stealing things, okay? Now, there got to be a reason why there is thief in nature. Now, we as human see everything like, oh, good and bad, okay? We have our standard. We dislike people who do harm to us or to our nature, society. But to nature, nature is only about trying to balance itself all the time. Look at how our planet is, okay? We have destructive weather or climate, like volcano blast, okay? Volcano bursting out, lava. No, they kill people. Earthquake, everyone died. Tsunami, boom, village gone, okay? Very destructive. We do not like these destructive stuff. Just like we do not like murderers. We do not like people who steal our stuff. I personally don't like too. But so what? There is a reason for these things to exist in this world. Look, if there's like, okay, if there's no destructive stuff in this world, okay? Let's say there's no more volcano blasting, then the planet will not cycle properly. It will not develop properly. Now, let's say if we do not have any thief in this world, right? If we don't have any people stealing stuff, then no one will actually develop the technology to anti this thief, like to anti-stealing or security and stuff. And people will be very naive. They don't know how to face problems later on. Now, when a problem arises and this thing doesn't exist before, people freak out. They panic. They freak out. Everyone freak out because you're not trained or developed to deal with problems. So just because you have a life full of troubles, full of hiccups, unevenness, a lot of roughness in life, it doesn't mean that you are not meant to live in this world. You can see it this way. All the not good stuff that is happening to you, you can see it as, like, you can see a lesson, but it's not a lesson. It's one of your experience to polish you and to grind you to see yourself and see what you're missing. If you go through, okay, let's say, okay, if the country thinks that it is stupid to do prevention for a flood, okay? Now this country never deals with flood because the country never had any flood in the past, okay? And then all of a sudden, maybe 2017, flood came. Wow, everyone freaked out. Lots of building damage, a lot of infrastructure damaged, and everything damaged. Because why? Because they have not learned their lesson before. If they actually learn before, they won't have all these problems right now. It's always because they're not prepared to face more problems. Now, we are born here in this planet. Every day we face a lot of problems. It's not a problem when you're geared up enough to handle it. It is only a problem if you're not prepared to handle the problem. Now, the purpose of life is really like one of those role-playing games. It's like you're you. And the purpose of life is to go through different stages or things happening that you will encounter as you go on. And when you go on, encounter different things, now your part is to not only make decisions, but to control what to accumulate, how to use your resources. It's very important. Just like money. Okay, everyone knows about money because it's a very easy topic to talk about. Like everyone will understand, okay? Just like money. You and this guy and this guy and this guy might have the same job. Same salary ranges, about the same kind of payout every month and stuff. Why are you not able to have a house and this person is able to have a house? Right? Now, because this guy saved up more, is more prepared, he's smarter in terms of accumulating what he's earning and not spending those things on useless stuff, maybe gossiping with friends and stuff and used up all the money. Or maybe he did a better job in terms of how he handled his credit and stuff like that. It's a very realistic side of life, okay? You have the power and authority to make decisions and change your future. Everyone at work might have about the same kind of salary and stuff coming in, the same amount of income. Some will live very happily. Some will think that they're always living in poverty or something like that. Some will always starve. Some will always have enough to save up. Why? It's because the way how you play your game is different. Now, the purpose of life is to have you grind through so many years of stuff and accumulate stuff. Now you have a few subjects to deal with. Okay, you have a few subjects to deal with. One is the resources that you use to live a life, which is, like our health, our money, stuff like that. Okay, things that you need to live a life right here. And then when you're at a certain stage, everyone will think about this. Is what about when I die? Is it like that is the end? Is that the end? Is that the end of the game? Like, are you going to go black out and everything is finished? Okay, so no more pain, just and it's done. You get a restart point. Do you do that? Okay, no, actually we don't. We don't restart because in nature, time does not rewind. There's no restart. It doesn't wipe out itself. It doesn't wipe out. It just transforms into a different stage and then restart according to what you have before. Look, let's look at the planet, how it's cycled, okay? When there is this amount of land and stuff, now a disaster come in and wipe out everything, right? It doesn't restart the place to zero. It actually transforms all that stuff that you have into a different form. Maybe from a mountain to a lot of shattered rock. But it's still that amount of resources right there. And you're going to start from that amount of resources. And then it will keep rolling and developing again after the disaster wiped out. You see, you don't get a restart. There's not a restart point. You start from where, you have all these things that just breaks down everything. And then use what you have right now and then rebuild it back up. It's like you have a Lego, okay? Lego, and you made a tower, a huge tower, okay? Now you're going to build the tower, and then you're going to crash it down. And then you're going to build it again, and then you crash it down again. You build it up, and you crash it down again. No matter how you crash it down, you're going to have the same amount of pieces of Lego to restart. And the difference might be how you're going to build that tower. Or are you going to build a tower or maybe something else, something like that. Okay, that's the only difference. But you're going to have the same amount of Lego. Now, while you're building this Lego tower, you can also accumulate more pieces. So as you move on, okay, playing this game of Lego building the tower, as you move on, you gain more and more and more every time you play the Lego game. You gain more pieces. You gain more knowledge and experience. And every time you do it better and better because you have more pieces. Every time you start, you accumulate as you build. That's how our life is. When we grow up, you accumulate as you go. You gain experience and you accumulate experience. Experience don't get used up. Your knowledge don't get used up. Always there. You see, the power of knowledge is very powerful. You learn something, unless you really, got knocked in the head or something, but if you're healthy, okay, your knowledge is always inside the head. It's always inside, and you can always retrieve it, no matter how old you are. How many times you use that knowledge is going to be there. It just duplicates and keep multiplying as you go. The longer you keep knowledge, the more you can blossom out of that knowledge, the more you get out of it. It's like this. Now you have the knowledge to, let's say, cook maybe fried rice or something like that, okay? Now the longer you let that idea or the knowledge sit in your brain, the more you can do later on when you really go and execute that cooking action. Because the knowledge gets nourished. And the more you look at other things, it builds on top of your fried rice knowledge, and it blossoms into new things. the longer it stays there, the more it just nourish and blossom and it flourish. Knowledge is something that doesn't really get used up even you get aged. Now, you see, purpose of life is what? Every day you experience, you learn. From the day we are born, we keep learning, right? You are learning and learning and learning. To do what? You see the pattern? Human and animal, we're not the same. Do you see why? Now, if you think that we should live like animal, you got a problem with your brain. We should not, if you think we should live like animal, you should stop using internet. Because animal does not create stuff for this planet. Animals and human being is very different. Human being is what we call the fully developed form of life on this planet. And that is why you see human is the primary, you can say, dominator of this planet. We rule over the place. We have satellites up there rotating around the planet. We have all kinds of stuff all over the planet. Everyone is building here, building there. Everything, everywhere is ours. This is power of human being. Animals, they are over the place, but they don't build anything. They never build stuff up. Yeah, you can say they build a nest or something like that, a bird, okay? But they do not invent technology like us, like how we do. They don't use tools. Like some animals, they will, take branches and stuff and pretend that it's tool. But, I'm talking about real tools. Look, we invented camera. Wow. Phones, computer, flashlight, a gun, whatever. These are magical. These are magical. And if you look at the history of human beings, you see how crazy we are. We get out of the box and invent something that you cannot even find on this planet. Wow, you see how crazy human is. Human is very powerful. We're super powerful. And you know what? Look, you cannot go into like the ocean or maybe the forest and then find something we invent. We always invent something new. You see, you cannot find dumpling outside. You cannot find a pizza outside, right? Because we invent those stuff. We make it. And you cannot even find, let's say, maybe a flute outside. Human made it, right? All these things is very, very amazing. Now, you see, the purpose of human being is already proven and shown in our history of life. Is to what? To keep inventing. Invent, create, to build up and accumulate. And what? Prepare. You see the pattern? We always prepare. Now, I'm not talking about preparing for, shit hit the fan, zombie came and invade the planet and that kind of stuff, okay? What? No, alien, not zombie, sorry. That kind of stuff, okay? Not talking about that kind of extreme, but I'm talking about preparing. Preparing lunch for tomorrow. Preparing your bed for tomorrow. Maybe preparing dinner. Preparing your breakfast. How about preparing your school bags? Everything is about preparing, using what you prepared, and achieving some kind of stuff, and then you accumulate, and then the cycle restart. You see how human being lived or worked in the past? Okay? Let's say we're farming, okay? We're farming. Now, every day you prepare yourself. You go and farm, you go and work in the farm, you work hard, you use up your energy. And then you get something you prepared before, you planned it before, and now it becomes your food, your wealth. And then you get to eat, and then the cycle just repeats and repeats. Every day we prepare, accumulate, and then we use what we accumulate, and then we prepare again. Okay, now that is the pattern. Very simple, right? First, you have to give your input. Okay, number one, you input something, no matter what it is. Like money, energy, time, whatever it is. You're just gonna input something, and then you cultivate it. Okay, and you prepare. Keep preparing, and then you went into action with the thing. You start processing, doing stuff with it, and then you get something new out of it. And then you accumulate the gain or the profit, and then later on this profit stuff is going to go into you, nourish you, and then do the same to you, and you grow. Okay, you grow, and then after that you repeat the cycle again. You have to, it's like the food nourish your body. Your body grew bigger. Now you have to go and plant again. It's like that. The same thing happened in modern world. The same pattern. We have to earn money, and then we get stuff to use for a living. Buying your shampoo, buying your soap, buying your whatever, paying for the bills, all that stuff, and then you earn money again. It's always about making money with your energy, your time and effort and stuff like that. You invest into it, right? And then you make money. Now you use the money on something, and then the something will go into you and nourish you, and help you grow. And then after that, you have to make money again. It's always the same cycle. Now, some religions are very bad. They tend to teach people to ignore and escape from reality. What do I mean? Is they always say, life is so suffering, whatever, something like that, okay? Now, these kind of words are very, they're going to very much spark up a light bulb moment for a lot of lazy and hopeless people. Now, what do I mean by lazy and hopeless? The people who lost their job and they don't think the world is fair and that kind of stuff. They keep complaining and they want to blindfold themselves. Now, religion is very powerful. This religion will tell them that, yes, this place is bad. Right. The kind of vibe that make you think that, finally someone understands me. And then you know what? These religions use the tactic to brainwash people to think that you can see all these things on earth right now, all these things in front of you. They are just, illusion. They're like meaningless. The only thing you need to worry about is after death. Something you cannot see yet. Okay? But you have to worry about that. And the only way you need to do is, now this is very, very funny. This is like how the cheaters in video games do their job. All you need to do is every day click a button and you will get your result. You don't need to work hard. You don't need to use your brain. You just go and do the same thing over and over again, like clicking a button. Very easy. Every day you go into the same place, you click the button. Now a few times more every day. Today 100 times, tomorrow 108, and then 136. Just keep all the lucky numbers. Click, 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 click. Every time you do it, it's going to invest whatever, and you keep growing that thing after you die, and that's it. That's all life is about. Now, people gave up their whole life not doing what they're supposed to do, gave up their family, their children and stuff, go into the temple and be a monk. Holy whatever. Now, that is very crazy. People actually do see it as an escape of life. It's like, I think my life sucks. Now I'm going to go into here, and I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to get my trophies. After I'm dead, I'm going to be Superman, like this. Everyone just keep doing that, very easy. No need to use your brain, right? All these religious stuff, they all go into the very robotic mode, chanting every day. Every day they do the same thing, and then they think that is going to work. Seriously? Right, because they are going to use this, the essence, which is to make things very simple, to the point that you don't need to use your brain. Okay, people are lazy. They like these things. They like shortcuts. They like to fall into these traps. They love it. It's just like, I just take some pills to numb my brain, ecstasy and stuff, and now I can do whatever I like. Okay, but and that is also why a lot of people like those spontaneous cultivation, which is actually very dangerous. But what happened is people think that something can go into them, and then they activate themselves to a stage, and then all they need to do is just let go, okay, let go, and don't need to use your brain, and there goes all the magic coming out, okay? And like all the stuff you don't need to understand, it just work itself out. Wow, very amazing. Now you know what? That is not right, because you see, we are born in this planet, okay? The whole history of human being told us we are born here to do what? Come on, guys, accept reality. Look out there. Everyone, look outside. Let's see, okay? If everyone can just go spontaneous. Look outside, okay? Look outside. I mean, look at that person who is handing you the changes when you buy some vegetables, something like that, okay? She just went spontaneous and gave you some changes. Okay. Okay, next one. Okay. Watermelon, no problem. Okay, change. What? Debit card? Okay, come on. Everyone just goes spontaneous. Spontaneous driving. Everyone can go crazy, okay? Like, I mean, auto drive. Go in there, okay? Do whatever you want. Go by your feeling. Oh, instinct. Come on. You're going to screw everyone up. You see the problem? We are born here. Okay, human. We are born here to go through your life and then accumulate knowledge. Knowledge will lead you to open up more possible possibilities and blossom into wisdom. Wisdom leads you to see things better, do things better, and then apply your knowledge and your blossomed knowledge fruits to new things. And it makes your life better. The more knowledge you have, the better your life gets. I'm not talking about, knowledge, such, so some people are weird. When it comes to religion, they think, oh, knowledge is about, outside the space, other dimensions and stuff like that. Okay, first thing is, cut that crap. I'm talking about knowledge first, as in the knowledge you have in this world that can be applied. I mean, like, okay, cooking, okay? Cooking. There are people actually, a lot of people, I'm amazed, but yeah, there's a lot of people who are like 40 years old and they don't know how to cook their own meal. They get married and all they think is, okay, I got a wife. Why do I need to learn to cook? I got this woman here who cooks. I don't need to cook. I'm the one who make money. Well, your wife also makes money. Okay, it's like that. Okay, so people don't understand that you need to learn stuff. If you don't learn stuff, your knowledge don't grow, right? Now, why do we need so many knowledge? What kind of knowledge should we be accumulating or learning? What should we actually invest our time on? Look at me, okay? I have my knowledge, let's say, in doing some YouTube reviews, making videos, doing my magic and stuff. I don't have my knowledge in, let's say, plumbing, building a house, stuff like that. I don't know those stuff. Okay, so what? But we don't have to know everything. You're born. Everyone. You see how babies act. Okay, this is like a pattern in nature. Come on, it's so simple. Look at babies, okay? Now, there are like 10 different babies. You might have something happen in the room, and it only attracts a few of them. Other babies are not interested. Why? Take out a robot, okay? Now, some babies just get scared away. Some babies like it. They get curious and they go play with it. Why some babies like this thing? Why some baby like that one? In the ancient, not ancient, but old days, Chinese people have this kind of culture. When a baby is born, right after they're born, okay, very toddler, not toddler, sorry, very baby stage, okay, tiny baby stage. Well, they still have to be hold like that. Now, those babies, they will have like 12 items or 5, forgot 12 or 5 items on a little tray, right? And then they will take it over to the baby and see what the baby will touch first. Now, the thing that the baby chose and hold, that will kind of tell them, oh, the baby might be, having a lot more potential in this field of stuff. Now, that is one culture they have in the past. Now they don't do it anymore, of course, right? But but it definitely transformed into a new kind of fashion right now. People start to do this when people they're like in the teen stage. Families like to shove their kids to different places to learn different things. Learn guitar, piano, whatever. Yeah, whatever it is, okay? Now, some kids, they went into this piano lesson and they totally fell asleep. They don't like piano. But the family is like, okay, but your cousin is doing it, you got to do it. So, you see, that kind of stuff destroys the whole journey. But, you see, from here, some kids, some teens, they go into the lesson and they really likes it. They have a feel for that kind of stuff. They want to do it. Now, you see, everyone have different what? Different interests, right? According to ourselves, deep inside ourselves, we have different interests, right? Now, look at your interests. Every kind of interest can make a living in this world. That's right. Look at right now, okay? We're so fortunate. The world is very developed now. Almost every kind of interest can be something that can be utilized as a money-making method. For example, some people just like to do makeup. Now, right now, if you look at some makeup YouTube channel, they make a lot of money just by doing some videos of themselves doing makeup every day. Wow! I mean, look at that. Crazy, man. This is just this person doing makeup. Not even for people, just for themselves. Okay? That is one thing they like to do, and they can use it to make money. Now, some people are grown up and they have this feeling of like for a certain subject. Now, if you feel very sync to something, it doesn't mean that you should be doing it, because you should also consider, like according to your body, your condition, and all that stuff. Is it possible, or are you really? It's like when we were young. Okay, there's this hot topic. People like to play with computer, and then the parents will think that, oh, when you grow up, you should be, working in the computer field as an IT or something like that. Now, that doesn't really work, because you know why? You might be enjoying the playing part with the computer, like playing games or just fiddling around programs and stuff like that. But you might not want to deal with the real programming side of stuff. You might not want to really go and fix computer for people. It's different, right? Fixing computer is like, okay, I like eating, but I may not like to be a chef. Being a chef is different from eating. Or cooking for yourself is different from cooking for like 40 tables of people every night. It's different, right? So your whole purpose of life is to really find out what you should be doing in this world. And then when you find out what you should be doing, you go and experiment. Enjoy your journey. You have about 100 years finding out your true self. What you really like, what is not like your original liked stuff. Some stuff are influenced by people. Your mom says so, your cousin says so, your friends say so, and you follow, right? Your friend said, you want to watch this movie? Oh, sure. But inside, you don't like that kind of movie. You don't know yet. You don't know which is you, which is like the real you, which is the you that is influenced by others. The whole journey about 100 years of lifespan. You know, normal people about 100 years. It's really about finding out what you really is deep inside. People will say, "Oh, but we change." No, you don't really change a lot. You see, when I'm very, very young, I thought that when I'm 30ish, I will be very different. You know, look at the uncles and stuff. When they grow up, they talk differently. You know, it's kind of different. Let me tell you what. It's like thinking about it. You know, when I'm in high school and when I'm right now, like 30ish, I can tell you that, wow, the inside of me, what I really like, stayed the same. Really, these magic stuff and things like that really stayed the same. Now, there could be some stuff that changed. The changed is how you developed on top to learn more about what you should do, what you cannot do. It's like, okay, when I'm young, maybe I would like to play cars, racing and stuff like that, car video game. As you grow up, and, your eyesight, you know, get bad and deteriorate, and you cannot drive. So you realize that this is not for you, right? Now, same thing to you guys, okay? And when you have something that you like to do, something that you think you should be doing when you're young, something that you believe that you are, you know, this thing, this is your destiny, this is your job in life. Now, when you grow up, you might find out that, oh, but it's not possible. Or maybe you after you really dig into the field, you don't really like it. Then what? Right? You have to develop. And then as you ponder back and forth, you start to understand more about yourself. Now, the whole journey is very long, right? The whole journey, you start to understand more and more about yourself. And as you accumulate the knowledge, the wisdom, as you find out about yourself, you will gain a lot more inside, and you feel solid inside. You will feel good inside. As you grow up, okay, you have a lot of experiences, and you learn a lot of things. Now, while you learn, you gain a lot of knowledge, and you see, you hear, you have a lot of different emotions and stuff like that, right? All these things turn into one thing, very, very, very important. And what is that? Memory. Now, memory is very powerful. Sometimes, okay, now I remember this guy. I hate him. And because my memory exists, I can do many things to this guy. Now, when my memory is lost, I cannot remember him anymore, right? Then all the stuff that I'm supposed to do to him is now gone, right? Very, very amazing. Memory triggers everything up. Memory is a form of essence energy. Like energy essence, not essence energy, sorry. Essence. Because it's not always working. Not like energy. Just energy itself always pumps and works and cause things to happen. Now, memory sometimes just sit and stay very still. Like, they're not like wave moving all the time. They can be one very, like atom. The one ball or whatever you call that. A ball, a seed, a little sphere kind of shape. Okay, they just stay there. And sometimes when you just want to retrieve it, your energy will go to that little, whatever you call that, cell essence, and it just touches it and it triggers it back up. It's very funny. This is how our memory works. Now, all these memories, you cannot really detect it with science and stuff like that. It's not detectable. It's something not in this dimension. Now, your memory stuff, okay, as you grow up and then you get old, right? When you get old, you realize that you have a loss in memory. You start to be like kind of not able to remember the stuff when you're young. You may have some very vivid memory of a few moments, but you cannot really like replay every day by day by day, that kind of memory. Again, like you may remember, oh, when I'm 10 years old, this happened, but you don't really remember, which day and then which, when and how happened, where you went. Maybe just a flash of some happenings inside your brain, but you cannot really retrieve the whole memory anymore. Now, in nature, nothing is like, oh, it's lost. Nothing will be erased in nature because time doesn't get erased. There's no erase. There's only a transformation. When you eat stuff, the food is not gone. It just got transformed into another thing. You eat the chicken. The chicken is not gone. It's just changed into something else and placed inside your body. Now your memory doesn't get lost. They just got transformed. Transformed to where? Now these memory energies or memory cells, whatever you call that. I'm not talking about a cell as in, the science kind of cell. I'm just using a metaphor, okay? These little ball stuff, the seed kind of thing. Now this is the memory stuff. As you accumulate more and more, okay, these big and small memory little ball, they accumulate. And as you grow up, okay, as you get old, all these things start to get stored into your spiritual side, your spiritual body. Now your spiritual body holds all these things. And the deeper it gets into that body, the less you will be retrieving them. It's like the more unused memory. They will get packed up into the very deep storage inside your spiritual body. Now your spiritual body have this deep storage that stores all the stuff that is from your very, very, very early stage. Like things that you don't even recall anymore. And that is what we call the subconsciousness. But basically it's not. It's the storage of your stuff that is done processing in this world. When things are done processing, the happening is over. Okay? Now those things get stored into your main spiritual body storage. And it acts as part of your energy inside there, part of the fuel of that thing. Now when you die, your physical body dies out. And what you're left with is the energies of you, which is the spiritual body of you, and it just goes suck up into back up to meet up with your soul. Your soul is not right here. Your soul is up there in the cloud level. That is where the soul is. And the soul gets sucked up back to the spiritual planetary body, which is where around the sun is. But it's in another dimension. And you don't need to travel like how you need a spaceship. Because these things are very instantly traveled. They just go boom, boom, and go right up. It's only a very short time to travel a very, very long distance, because in that dimension, it's not the same as the dimension right here anymore. It's not the same. When you die, okay, the frequency of stuff, you can say, it's very fast. You can say like the vibration or something, but mostly it's like the energy is moving very fast. So it doesn't cost that much time to travel a super long distance. And so when our spiritual body meets up with the soul and go back to the planetary planet, it may only take like less than 1 minute to do everything. It's very fast, very instant. Every day of you existing in this world will pack up energies to your spiritual planet body, your spiritual soul and such. And then when these things gathers up enough, okay, when you die, these are what you're left with, not this body right here. Now these things, the memory and stuff, they are like the capital resources for you to move on to the next stage of life. Now you will not understand how the next stage of life is like yet, because we're not dead yet. Now, if you're cultivating in our lineage, okay, some outstanding disciple can cultivate to see that dimension, and you'll understand more. But normally, Okay, for normal people, you don't understand that part of life. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. You don't need to see it. You don't need to understand that world yet. What you need to do is to do your best so that your resources you're going to get to start with is at least better. So your next round coming up have a lot more stuff to start with. And you're more in control of yourself. Now, have you ever tried to, let's say in a dream, okay? Sometimes you have a dream and you cannot control yourself in the dream. It feels like you're watching yourself maybe going way up into a building, and then you get drop down from high above, and then you fly down, you float. Wow, we went here and there very fast. Everything is very scary. You see that kind of feeling, right? You remember. Now that kind of stuff can happen when you die if you're not strong enough with your spiritual side. Now, how to cultivate our spiritual side? No, you don't go and meditate and stuff. You have to, as a normal person, to do better is just to gain more knowledge, gain more wisdom. Not only use your brain more, but use your heart more when you do things. Do what you're supposed to do and go through your journey. Make use of your life. Go through your journey. You earn the experience. You earn the memory and all that stuff. Use of your energy, and you get these essence back. Now, all these things that you accumulate are going to add up and make your spiritual side stronger. When you have a stronger spiritual self, after you die, at least your spiritual body is stronger and is stable. It's not going to like float and, go over the place and, like that. You have control of yourself. You're more aware of yourself. You're not like a blind bird in the jungle and banging around. You can at least sense things better. You see, and all these memories, wisdom, and things will go with you, because those are actually stored in your spiritual side. Now, as you can see, in this life, before you die, you always cultivate, prepare, and stock up things for your future, right? Like okay, this week I have to prepare, buy food for my future, meaning for my future weeks, right? Very simple. Now, when you are living versus when you're dead, okay, you're always doing things. Everything you do here is just like buying food and stocking up and stuff like that. Now, you just drag it out, stretch it, to look at it as a bigger scale of the same pattern. We are every day, what you're doing every day is one day of living a meaningful day equals one day of meaningful cultivation and preparing for your future. If you make use of your day nicely and you do what you're supposed to do, your day is not wasted. It doesn't mean that you have to work every day. It's just like you have to go through your day to do what you're supposed to do. Every day, just move on, keep going, and eventually you will accumulate whatever you need for your next journey. You don't need to do all that, whatever meditation, the practice and stuff like that. You don't need all that stuff. As a normal human being, you are already geared up and planned, like really you're born and this is what you're supposed to do. If you naturally go through your stuff, you will naturally flow to another place too. It's very simple. Nature gave you your body, the pattern that you're supposed to go through. If you don't go anti this pattern and go be a scumbag or something like that, then you should be fine. You should be fine. You don't need someone to save you from whatever, because you are fine without all these crap that you hear from outside. You're fine. You just need to make use of your life, and that is the purpose of life. Now, why don't I suicide? When I'm let's say 45, I feel life is so suffering. Why don't I die and just end it? No, because when you die too early, you know what happened? It's like when a baby is born too early. What happened? You see? When a baby is born too early, the baby is going to have issues when he or her is born, right? He or she is born. Okay? Now, if you die too early, you will have issue because you're prematurely going into the next world. You're not ready yet. Now, what if I, got in a car accident and I crash and stuff? Now, that is not yourself trying to end your life. That is accident, okay? Accident, like, some mother, they carried a baby. Accidentally, they slipped. And then accidentally, the baby died. Okay, that is accident. But it doesn't mean, it doesn't mean that the baby is going to be fine, right? Accident is unavoidable. Okay, like for normal people, you cannot avoid accident. So what to do, right? Accident sometimes happens. Well, then try better next time. Okay, but as a normal human being, beside the accident factor, you should not end your own life that fast because you're not ready yet. Now, when do I know I'm ready? Well, when you're ready, you will naturally go. When you're ready, nature will not let you stay. When you're ready, you will... You're done. Now, what if I have, seen this case where a person is only at teenager stage and then somehow heart failure. Is that good? That is not good, okay? Also, too early. Because you have to look at the normal average kind of age for a human being. Anything after 80 years old, it's good. Okay? After 80 years old, you're matured. Before 80 years old, you're still a little bit too early. But, right now, you see people dying around 70-ish and sometimes even 60-ish. 60-ish is too early, way too early. 70-ish is also too early. But if you're at like 80-ish, okay. If you're at 90-ish, that's a good stage or good time to die. Why? Now look at human being born. Okay, 10 months, and you're born, right? Now multiply that by 10. Now 100 should be your day to be born again in another world. So if you want to die, you see, the nice age to die, naturally you should, it's about 90-ish to 100-ish kind of range. Now some people, they want to not die and stay very, 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 very old. 140 years old, 180 years old, whatever. Well, yeah. Now think about babies, okay? Some babies, they don't get out of the mother's tummy after a long, long time. And what happened? The mother is going to have issues because she carried the baby too long. Now, if you're not dying and you're staying alive too long, there's also a problem. Because what is carrying you to the next world will have issues. You see, this is like too long, not good. Too short, not good. Just in the middle, where you're supposed to go, you go. About 90-ish to 100-ish, that's about it. No, a little bit too much, 120-ish and up, most people think that, that is so nice, he lived a very, very long life. That is not good. Because it's a little bit too long. When you're born in the other world, what happened is the thing that is carrying you over to help to deliver you over is going to have too much stress, too much pressure right there. And it's not going to work out nice. Now, compared to the person who died about 60 or 50, now that is even worse, okay? But talking about the perfect time to die, it's really about the 90-ish to 100-ish kind of age. And when you're at that age, okay, and what I mean by naturally die is you might have some, sometimes you just sleep and there it goes, okay? Sometimes maybe a little bit of sickness and cough, and then you died, okay? Very natural kind of dying. And usually when you die naturally, you know that you're dying. You know that yourself is dying. You know. You know it inside. You know it. It's like that. So basically you can see, okay, to die too early is not good. It's just like to be born too early is not good. To die too late is not good too. Because just like being delivered here to this world as a baby too late is not good for the mother and yourself too. So just a balance in between is very nice. And look at how we are born. 10 months. When we die, okay? 10x10, 100. Simple logic. About that kind of range. Now, if you suicide, then it's pretty much like you're trying to get born in the other world when you're 3 or 4 months. And what happened is you will suffer. Because in the other world that you're supposed to be in, you're not ready yet. And all this stuff, it's going to cost you a lot of painful time. Because you know why? In the other dimension where you're supposed to go, it's not like all the nice stuff is out there, okay? It's just like in this world. We have, let's say we have germs and stuff in the air. We have virus. If you are not careful with your hygiene and stuff, you will suffer from infection and things like that. If you're not, let's say if a baby is too weak, they are born and they will get infected very easily. That's why they need to be locked up into a little box and to avoid the infection and stuff like that, right? Now, when you are dying by suicide and you go to the next world too early, you are very fragile. And there's a lot of different kinds of crap there that will infect you and get you sick and get you very painful and stuff like that. And all these things is going to torture you for a long time until you're going to get mature enough to survive and stay there. Now, you may not believe because you have not went there yet. But that is fine. But just think about the logic of how human being is born right here, right? When we are born way too early, there's always a problem. When we are born too late, there's always a problem. Now, the same thing applies to when you die. It's very logical. So you don't need to believe all that after-death life that I'm talking about. But just think about it. Dying too early is, of course, no good because being born too early is not good too. Being born at the right time is going to be good for health. Now, dying at the right time is also good for your later health. The same kind of pattern repeats all the time. And you need to observe and accept this is the pattern. If you die too early, it's always not good. If you spend your whole life, let's say you want to be a monk and you stay in a temple, just doing some every day, okay? You're not doing what you're supposed to be too, you see, as a human being. Okay? You didn't really go find out what you're supposed to do, what inside you that, you know, what this nature have got for you. You don't. You just encase yourself inside a little temple and think, that's it. That's my life. Well, not really. You know, you haven't really went out and discovered yet, right? You cannot say that's my life without discovering and trying out and looking outside and stuff like that. It's not always like, okay, that's me. No sound. Anyway, you cannot really say, oh, that's my stuff. Things don't work like that. Most of the time, you need to try, dig into it, and then try something, dig into it, and then eventually you find out about yourself. Everyone gets to where they should be after some polishing and grinding in nature. No one just goes snap and, oh, there goes my stuff. Even for myself, I went through a lot of suffer and a lot of pain in my life, and that's what brings me here today. Nothing can just come in and replace all that stuff. Because it's a lot of things that I experienced and went through, and you get matured as you experience and stuff like that. Now, when you are trying to think about, oh, what should my life be like, you know? Go and enjoy and experience your life. Don't just complain. And when you have problems, solve problems, number one. If you cannot solve problems, seek for help. And then learn as people help you. And then after that, okay, remember, learn from your history. Just like we now learn from our humankind, mankind history. We look at the history and we learn. And then because the people before us did something and they have troubles, they screwed up. Now we know not to do, right? You learn from looking and observing other people. That's what you're supposed to do as a human being. You don't die so early because you have not seen enough. Now, if you encase yourself in a little, whatever temple or something like that, what are you going to see? I mean, look, you're encased. You don't even know what YouTube is about. Come on. You're like a frog in a whale. That is totally against nature. And like being this monk inside the temple, you're against nature. All your little world is so small. You're not making use of nature. And people, I really don't like this thing, but people always think those monks, they live in nature and they're so nature lover and stuff like that. Look, nature gives birth to our whole planet. And that includes the nice fancy city, the nice places, and also some different like this desert or some other places, right? If you are in this life and you're only encaging yourself in a little temple, you're not making use of nature. The whole place is there for you to discover and to experience, for you to use as your training ground to find out who you really are, what you should be, what are you inside, what is your really you inside. And you only can achieve that by really doing what human being does, which is to keep experiencing, gaining wisdom, gaining knowledge. As you experience, you understand more about yourself. Now, there are also people who are like 90 years old and they have no clue about what they should be doing and no clue about their life. You know why? Because they never used this. That's right. There are a lot of people who are followers. They live like 80 years of age and they only follow what people do. And if you just follow, you don't use your brain here, okay? You are like a blind bird in the jungle. You don't even learn. You don't even learn and discover. Look, all these nice things out there, okay? You don't just eat what people eat. Sometimes there are new things. Why don't you go and discover? Now, these 80 years old people think that, oh, I'm so old, I should be good. No. Not if you use your brain. Okay? There are a lot of people who are very old, but they're also very stupid and stubborn because all they do is follow their friend. When they're 60, 70 years old, they still follow their friend. Oh, you buy this stock? Okay, I'll buy with you. They don't even dig into it. Like, I mean, if you buy stock, why don't you go and understand the stock market yourself? And then go dig into it, gain knowledge. You see, knowledge, wisdom makes you a better stock buyer. Why don't you do that? You don't. For 40 years, you have been following your friend. You have been following the whatever agent is trying to buy the stock for you. You never think about it yourself. You just say, oh, what should I buy? Oh, this one? Okay. Cash. You see, they don't dig into it. They're doing it all the time, but they don't dig into it. That's the problem. You see, when you keep growing in age, and if you don't gain anything, you become a very useless person. And at the age of 80, you are still lost about who you are because you have not gained a lot of stuff. Now, a lot of people do bad in school, and then they think, oh, my life is screwed. Okay? I'm so fucked up. I'm like, everything it's gone. Like, it's done for me. I'm so screwed up. But you know what? If you actually look at it, the world is not only about school. There are a lot of people who can success without going to school. Not talking about like super successful kind of stuff. But at least you can make a living and live a happy life, even without the school system. There are like, painters, YouTubers, whatever there is, okay? You can make a living even you're not good in school. It's not the end of life. But you know what? There's no free lunch. You need to use here and your body to do it. It's like saying, okay, I'm doing bad in school. I'm going to be screwed. Okay, no, you're not. You can try to be a YouTuber and whatever. Okay, now people think that being a YouTuber is very easy. Now think about it. It's not. Every day you need to really learn how to make videos, gain your experience, and then you need to do your research, your marketing, and then you improve on your equipment and all that stuff. A lot of editing and things to learn. A lot of stuff to learn. See, everything is about learning, gaining knowledge, more wisdom, and then your life gets better here. The same pattern goes to your next life. If you cannot make this life better, you cannot make your next life better. All those religious bullshit about just do this and your next life is fine, that is a scam. You look at this world, okay? It never happened. Nothing happened like this, okay? Everything is like, you can't do better now. The same pattern will repeat later on. If you cannot do better now, the same pattern don't happen right there, right? So if your life right now, okay, you're like totally screwed and you don't want to move, you don't want to use your brain, you want to be lazy, fine. Your future is going to show the result of this laziness. So if you ask me, what's the purpose of life? What should I focus on? The first thing is get rid of your laziness. Don't be lazy. Don't be careless. Don't always say you're busy. Make time to do stuff. Put your heart into stuff. Put your energy into stuff. Gain wisdom, gain knowledge, keep growing, keep developing, advancing, just like how nature advances every day. Nature always gains. You see, the planet always gains. More and more things blossom out of the planet. We don't lose stuff. We only use up the resources of the planet and blossom into more things for the planet. Without human beings using the resources of our planet, how can we have so many new things in this planet? Look, we built so many things that is not born by nature. The houses, the skyscraper, power line, all the infrastructure, pipes, they don't exist in nature. We, human beings, built it. You see, we're so powerful. And you as a human being, part of your nature is to keep on building up at least for yourself. And then you think about building up for your next generation. Because what you build for your next generation will reflect on your future when you die as well. Anyway, that's a little bit too much. But it's getting kind of long. I'll try to cut it right here. But as you can see, okay, the main purpose of life is really to live and go through the journey. Don't die too early. Don't die too late. Just die at the right time in a very safe, happy, stable, comfort way of dying. That should be your goal. You don't have to be mega rich, okay? You don't have to be. You don't have to be like super wealthy, the most successful person in this world. You don't have to. But at least, you know what? When you die in a nice time, comfortably, happily, and then you're ready for your next thing to come, your next journey, that's good enough. Maybe you don't know what's going to come next because you cannot see it yet. But at least you did your best in this life to do what you're supposed to do. If that doesn't bring you a nice future in the next life, well, then you cannot do anything else because that's it. That's the max you can do as a human being. Right? What can you do? At least you did your best and not just sit there and fantasize that it will be okay, it will be okay, it will be okay if you pray. That is not going to happen. Praying doesn't fix problem. Everyone knows that, but they cannot accept it. Because, you know why? Because life and reality is brutal. A lot of people cannot accept reality. They're weak mentally. They're too weak to accept reality. Maybe, I hope that after this talk show, you'll become stronger and be able to accept reality. And eventually, when you can accept reality, you can shape your destiny yourself. And finally, you can get a grip of yourself. This is what our lineage is about. Wtihout, our Taoism, our stuff here. When you cultivate these things that we teach, this should be your motto of life. It should be like that. You should not look at life as I should just end it anytime, It's not like that. We don't think like that. Okay? And you do not cultivate just doing that thing and then forget about work and then think that's okay. No, that's not okay. Okay? Enjoy your life. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.